Session today. This afternoon's practice a little bit lighter, with the spider pads on. A little bit of a special teams emphasis, but gave us a chance to really get into our 2-minute drills also, which I thought the first unit handled well on offense, and it looked like I didn't see the whole thing, but it looked like a pretty good play by Ian over there on the sideline with that interception in the second one. And I think we're getting closer to being able to really evaluate some of the personnel. Tomorrow will be a great test for all the young players in this program especially. And we're going to do a little bit of live special teams as we get into the scrimmage. I think that's critical to see if some of these guys catching punts can catch them and make something happen. Some of these guys cover and kick can do it when there's a live body back there trying to make a miss, not just on a drill or on a bag. And on offense and defense, I think everybody is trying to define their role and how big a piece they really deserve to have this season. So I think it'll be a good day of work for us tomorrow starting at 12 noon.
Kyle, who can't go in it? I mean, we know Coleman, but who?
Coleman won't go. I think Peoples will go.
Okay.
I was pleased with what he did today. We'll make a final decision on that tomorrow. Agadosi will not go. Brian Gross will not go. Those guys won't go. Al Page will be is questionable right now. See if we can get a little work for him tomorrow. Andre Civil is questionable. See if we can get a little bit of work for him tomorrow. And I think that's about it.
I mean, I know
Lowry was not able to go in team periods today, so I wouldn't scrimmage him. He's still coming off that ankle sprain. Very encouraged. There's been a personal issue in his family, so he won't be with us on Monday. But I think when he gets back on Tuesday or Wednesday to training camp, he'll be back in team drills and ready to go.
Pollard, is he?
Pollard will not go right now. We're still working through lower body injury with him.
What do you want out of this? I mean, I know you want them to play well, but are you looking at certain key areas?
Well, I think the first thing you're looking for is the players in your program who've done it already. You want to see them play at a high level. We go down in the stadium very few times, and when we do, it's for real, and it's on film. And I expect the players in this program that have shown they can do it in the past to show they can do it tomorrow. And for the younger players, we just want their best. And wherever that puts them, in terms of their role this year, that's where it'll put them. And there's still a lot of training camp left, but I think this is the first line of demarcation where we can really start to see who are some of the younger players who are going to have an impact on this year's team on game day. Everybody will have an impact somehow, but on game day, we got to figure out who can have an impact for us.
Kyle, relative to the other positions, is secondary one? What's the learning curve like for a true freshman in secondary? And are Barnwell and Stevenson, how are they coming along? I know they were here in the spring, but still true freshmen.
I'm pleased with how Barnwell and Stevenson are coming along, and I think being here in the spring is a big part of that. Our defense is a pro-style defense, and there's a lot of moving pieces. And to just pick that up in a couple of weeks would not be easy, but for those guys having the advantage of being with the defense in the spring, and even for somebody like Jeremy Deering to have the advantage of being with them full-time in the spring, even though we did a little bit with him last year. Ian Thomas, even though we did a little bit in bowl prep, but to have him full-time in the spring, I think for all of those guys, they're a little bit ahead mentally, but that doesn't necessarily discount the freshmen who just got here, because like I said, there's still a lot of training camp left, but right now we're just focused on tomorrow.
Kyle, Croft, how's he, and also Nick Arcidiacono, how's he come along?
Croft is still going to be day-to-day. Obviously won't go tomorrow, and we'll evaluate him on Monday morning and see how much longer we think it'll be before we get him back. I'm very confident we'll get him back in more than enough time to get him ready to play in the first game. And I think Nick Arcidiacono's done a nice job. Those freshman tight ends, whether it's Nick or Taylor Marini, they have really done a good job. But I think Nick is probably a little bit ahead right now, and he's one of those freshmen who's really fighting for a role this year.
You keep talking about Coleman wanting to do more. How close is he, you think, to getting out there and maybe doing something?
I think he's a lot closer than I'll let him be. Okay. Yeah, a little bit like Kasim in the spring, to use that analogy again. I think he could go out there and play right now. I just think it's when you don't go in the spring, we got to get him out there. We've had him out there running routes a few days now. He really is full speed, and now we'll put him out there with a defender and eventually at the 7-on-7 and ultimately of the team. But again, I'm confident he'll be ready.
How long do you think that process will take? Another week? Or?
Probably through the next week. I think by the end of next week we'll feel very good about where Brandon Coleman is.
With some of the guys that may not play tomorrow, are there any younger guys or anyone in particular looking to kind of step up and make the most of more of an opportunity?
I'm looking for every one of them to step up. We need depth on this football team, and I'm sure I'm not alone as a head coach in saying that. Every position needs depth, and for all these true freshmen, this is it. a great opportunity. And for that redshirt freshman class, where only 3 of them played last year, it's a great opportunity to really see where they're going to fit.
Is this a big test for Chris Muller? I mean, I know he did it in the spring game too, but a real first-team scrimmage.
I think it's the biggest test he's had so far.
2 more. And Lumpkin, what do you want to see out of him tomorrow?
When you play left tackle, you better be consistent. That position, more than any other on the offensive line, can have a dramatic impact on the game because the quarterback won't see it. Now, we won't be live on the quarterbacks tomorrow, but we're going to call sacks and things like that. So he's got a great test ahead of him because he's going to play against good defensive players.
Coach, going back to secondary, can you talk about, T.J. Johnson, how you're looking at free safety as opposed to, I know you've been talking about there as opposed to cornerback, linebacker, that sort of thing. Do you have a clear picture of where he fits in this defense?
I don't know if I have a clear picture of any of it just yet. I think tomorrow will help paint that picture. But TJ's done a great job. He's pushing Jeremy Deering, and he's certainly a guy that if we had to play today, he's going to play a lot of football for us. Not just in the secondary, but on special teams, where he's really proven to be an exceptional special teams player.